Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
Hey, what's up, people? That was not the usual introduction. What the hell?
I am your host, Charlie, and I'm joined once again by the Flipper Hunter himself, and currently sucking on Starburst, Zealeus.
What's up, nerds of the world? How are y'all doing? Okay, not obvious I'm drinking Nerd Alert. You can't see it in the TV.
Actually, it's Monday Night Brewing Nerd Alert.
It's
a pseudo Pilsner.
It's a delicious, that's what it is. Okay, very well with a Starburst.
First of all, we'd like to say hello to everyone in the audience, and of course, at any time during this, we do want to point out that you, fine audience members, can drop topics into the chat, and we will try to get to them. Actually, what we'll probably do is we'll probably finish up with the topic we're currently talking about, and then go to your topic next. And that's usually how it works.
Next Gen HD Gamer already has this under control. He's already dropping the bombs.
I know. So let's do the little intro here. We'll go straight into what Next Gen HD Gamer is talking about, and then Zealeus, I'll let you control the mouse with selecting the things. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So here we go. As per tradition, because I know that everyone would go nuts if I skip this part, because they want to see me closer and closer get into diabetes.
So I think you actually have like a little insulin pump. You just haven't told anybody. Mm-hmm. So if anybody's new to the show, this is Charlie's. He has to embody the stereotype of the basement dwelling gamer. Although, unlike the stereotype, he doesn't actually live in his mom's basement. He actually has a job and he has family.
I live in my own basement.
But he does have that weird beard scruffy thing going, so there is that. Drops topic here. Whack Kid? I'm not sure what that means, because that's not really topic. That's just Whack Kid being like, dude, I'm here. Don't forget about me. Don't forget about me.
All right.
So as far as, like you're saying, Next Gen HD Gamer, you're right. The Xbox One basically doing 720p and 30 FPS. The whole jump to 4K and 60 FPS is just, it's not physically capable with our current iteration of hardware. I just don't see it happening. It comes down to that. And it's one of those things, Microsoft is promising. They are promising very high things with the Scorpio. And in a way, gamers, I think console gamers already kind of have Nintendo on a short leash. Not Nintendo, sorry, Microsoft. On a short leash.
If you want to be honest, gamers have had Nintendo. Only the true hardcore Nintendo fanboys, I think, are still riding that train.
But as far as Microsoft goes, like this current generation of console gamers, for whatever reason, they're just not enamored with the Xbox One. And now, if you take the Scorpio and you get these lofty expectations, and you don't meet them, that's really going to turn people off. And I think if you turned around and said true 1080p gaming at 60 FPS, maybe 4K gaming, who knows? They'd be like, okay, now we're excited because that's actually possible. But to say 4K gaming, I'm just like, I don't buy it. Like I said, in case, because it actually does show, like I said earlier, it's the 1080 graphics card from NVIDIA can barely even do true 4K gaming at 60 FPS, and that's $500 on its own. Yeah, so there is that, because the way they were putting it was basically the Xbox Scorpio drops like 6 gigaflops or teraflops, whatever it is, and the 1080 from NVIDIA drops 5.8 teraflops of stuff, which is basically how fast it can process. So you put those together, and obviously they're right on par with each other, so how is it going to actually do 4K gaming at 60 FPS? Who knows? And of course, you do have the PlayStation exclusive games, which, tend to be fantastic. But even take Just Cause 4, which was, yes, it was a PlayStation exclusive, but also on the PC. So yes, console-wise, it was exclusive to the PlayStation, but I could still buy it on the PC. So even that, we've talked a little bit over the year how, exclusivity it's still there, but it's also kind of not as big a deal as it used to be. And you still, you're seeing kind of this transitions of video games coming on multiple platforms, even the PlayStation 4 and the PC, which is kind of a weird mix, but whatever.
Well, the reason for that, and for those companies out there who want to keep some of their semblance of doing the PlayStation and the PC, there are certain cases where the PlayStation 4 gets first dibs, and it's a delayed release on the PC because of a timed exclusivity contract, which is now becoming more and more the norm. If you want a little extra oomph, if you're going with the console, you go with one console for 3 months and then release your game on the other consoles, because that actually gives you a bit of a financial boost.
Well, the other thing you're seeing too is you're also seeing like the pre-orders for certain consoles getting special perks that the other consoles don't get it.
Right.
So they're also trying to entice you to drop the $60 for the game to get special Xbox exclusive only DLCs, which are usually scams, but still they look cool, man.
Yeah.
But again, I don't plan on buying a next current gen console, whatever we're calling them, because I do the PC thing. Maybe someday, who knows? What could drive me to, potentially, because PlayStation is obviously doing their VR, Microsoft is doing their VR. If you can get a console, brand new, and the full VR experience for $500, I think that could actually be a pretty good selling point. For both combined,
okay, but
I think so.
What happened with Kratos, and why is his son a little crying bitch?
It's the story, man. It's the evolution of the story.
How many times? I mean, I don't really follow God of War. I think I've played like 2 of the, I don't know, is there 5 now? I know there was like a PSP version.
I think this is the 4th. This is the 4th like actual console.
Right, but there's a PSP one.
Well, there's
there
always
as well.
like,
but anyways,
yeah.
I feel like Kratos keeps dying or something.
But he's a god.
Or pissing off. Like, okay, seriously, you just beat up like Uber God. So how the hell do you piss off another god?
It's like, where do you go from here?
Do you have like a Rolodex of like supreme beings that you're just like, well, today I'm gonna piss off Ares. Yep, gonna piss off Ares for injustice to the family dog. He made me kill the family dog.
You know what really pisses me off about a series like God of War?
What's that?
I know they always do like some mechanic. You'd be like, this is why you're back at level 1. But say the first one, you just defeated, Zeus or the gods or whoever. But the next God of War, you're the same damn character. But guess what? You're back to level 1 and being a little wuss. I know there's always something like something happened and you lost your powers, but it's...
Well, that's one of the issues that a lot of people have when it comes to sequels, is that if it's truly a sequel, you should be able to pick up from where you left.
And some games do that.
Right, like a Mass Effect.
Or dot hack.
Right, or a dot hack, where your save game carries over.
And that is cool. I love that.
But for some reason, I understand some of the logic behind it, because sometimes those games actually bridge consoles. So it could be you could be playing on the PlayStation 3 and now it's the PlayStation 4 time. So you've got that
I can
type
see
of
that
thing
at least.
where now cloud save games are becoming more and more of a thing.
This is true.
So in the future, when the PlayStation 4.5 comes out, which I know is that Sony's going to deny that even exists, but when the 4.5 comes out, you'll be able to have your save data in the cloud if it's actually secure. If they actually updated their protocol. Sorry, I had my stuff stolen on PSN. I'm a little bit cranky about that. But anyways, but seriously, if cloud save games become a norm, why not? Why do that? I mean, why not, try to bridge the thing? I understand that there are going to be individuals who are going to pick up God of War 4, and that's going to be the first time they ever touch God of War 4. But why not award those individuals who have been with the series before?
Well, I think it depends on the type of game too, though, because you take a God of War, right? With that hack and slash from action RPG style, where your mechanics legitimately get more complex as you level up. You have to start doing, combo mashes and stuff, versus a Mass Effect or dot hack, which has that true continuality. But if you're leveled up from, like, say, Mass Effect 1 to Mass Effect 2, the game's really not that much more complicated if you're leveled up a lot. You might be able to do more cool stuff or do more powerfully, but really your level 1 character can have pretty much the same exact type of mechanics as a level 20 character in Mass Effect.
Well,
versus a hack and slash where your mechanics really do change as you get to higher levels.
Dot hack GU was a hack and slash.
But the mechanics don't get any more that much more complicated as you level up.
Correct, but the other thing is with those games that have the ability to basically bring over saved data is that they have a contingency plan. If you never played Mass Effect 1, but you played Mass Effect 2, your characters are basically in the same ballpark of if you were to bring a character over. However, you start with the generic, this is where BioWare wants you to start.
Well, here's the thing, though. So you take a game like God of War, where they basically tap out the hack and slash mechanics.
Yep.
So if you don't start back at level 1 in God of War 2, how do you really expand upon those hack and slash mechanics in God of War 2? And that might be part of it too, because you've already kind of reached, in their mind, they probably thought God of War 1, we're going to reach the pinnacle of hack and slash mechanics.
So you're basically saying it's kind of like when you play fantasy football on Madden, and your fantasy team doesn't go over to the next one.
I'm not comparing this at all to that. Good Lord.
Watch Dogs 2, what do you think about it? Just an update or really a whole new game? I've never played the first Watch Dogs, but from my understanding, a lot of people are seeing this as kind of we screwed up the first one, let's make sure this one is shiny and polished. However, you never know in this type of marketplace what happens behind the doors of a AAA studio. So it might end up right where the original Watch Dogs had, which had a lot of potential, but poor execution.
That never happens, though.
Yeah. I put those there so they could stay there, sir. If you want to, just eat some more Starburst or something.
Oh, I got to play with the toys, man.
No, the toys are there. Don't touch that one because that one falls apart.
Jeez. All right, fine. I'll touch her.
No.
Yes.
No.
Oh, she's mine.
Nope. You can't touch Red. Put Red back down, dude.
She makes me happy.
Okay, put Red back down until you play the game and you totally understand who Red is. Put it back down.
Nope, I'm good. I live in my own little fantasy world.
Give me Red. That's all mine, dude.
Jeez.
Lordy Lord. It's my birthday gift to myself, by the way. All right, so let's get into a couple of the indie games because that's, at the end of the day, that's what All Too Confused is all about. So I do want to introduce you to a couple indie games. And the first one, this is the tagline: "Be the virus, not the cure."
Well, that's kind of being a dick bag.
Ooh, do you have some collector's edition? Okay.
Charlie likes his collector's editions.
I love my collector's editions, but I have not gotten a collector's edition since Elemental War of Magic, and you don't know what that is.
You're better off not
knowing. You're better off not knowing.
Well, but since we're on indie game topics, though,
yeah,
that is true. A lot of indie games don't really do the whole collector's edition things. It seems like if they do the collector's edition, it's after the fact, after it's become like, oh my gosh, we can do stuff. And there's always exceptions to the rule, don't get me wrong. That's not a collector's edition, that's just the IndieBox.
The IndieBox, every single IndieBox has an exclusive collector's edition version of the game. Now,
I stand corrected.
No. Now, I will say this, that it's not an immediate collector's edition. The vast majority of the games that come out, that go through IndieBox, have been out for a while. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like a follow-up kind of, this game's out, it's still around, it's a success, let's give it a little extra love.
We already know people like it, let's get them to like it some more.
Exactly. So that's kind of what that is. Oh. So real quick, Be the Virus, Not the Cure. This game is called Prog.1. Very simplistic name. So let me just show you the trailer real quick.
You have a trailer? Oh,
yes, sir, we do. So, of course, I got a new headphone hub, but I forgot to bring it. So I apologize.
I haven't heard.
I'm picking up some sort of phenomenon. It's attacking the system.
Shut it down.
But Doctor...
I said shut it down. Just wipe the whole system.
That's some old school graphics.
We're experiencing an exponential growth in abnormalities, Doctor.
Wait, just a moment longer.
Tyler.
We could change everything. Don't you think it's worth it?
So it's a platform.
We're not authorized for another attempt, Doctor.
With a story.
I'll override the system.
Sci-fi story.
Really don't think that's a good idea, Doctor.
Dr. Cushing? Hey, look.
I'm somewhat skeptical.
All right, so for all of those individuals out there who love your hardcore platformers, this is right up your alley. Like your Super Meat Boy, your Zealeus didn't actually play this, but Jesse played it a lot at Con Carolina. It's a game called Chick U, which basically is all about timing. It's all about muscle memory and fast twitch skills because you got to be bouncing all over the place. So the reason why it says be the virus, not the cure, you're actually a virus that actually gets unleashed upon a brand new digital world.
Ooh.
And it is your job to try to stay alive as long as possible, which of course I believe is 48 levels long.
So are you interested in this kind of game?
I'm going to be honest, I am scared to death of these type of games because I know that I get frustrated easily. I'm not the kind of person who wants to bang my head into a wall over and over and over again. However, I'm always willing to take a game for a spin.
Yeah,
That being said,
just test
so-
it out, see how the game is.
Are people really that nostalgic for Atari level graphics? It depends. That's a very good question. It really depends on the gamer. You have individuals who revel in that type of graphics. However, there are a lot of times where developers either do not have the skills to bring it up to a different thing, or they're doing it for an artistic purpose. Because when you see that type of look, what they're trying to do is they're trying to put the spotlight more on the mechanics than on the picture.
So it's a game that really, hopefully, has flawless mechanics.
You would hope.
Because if it doesn't have good mechanics,
Yeah.
it's not going
Right.
to do too well.
Right, and that's a risk you take. I
But
mean,
it's also hard though, because you're on Steam, and competing against all these other games with fancy, fancy, glitzy graphics, and then you see a game with Atari graphics. It's probably going to turn a lot of people off. It's the reality. A lot of people will be like, "Really? This is what you have for your game? Is these graphics?"
Right. And like I said, once again, sometimes it's the developer's choice. Sometimes the developer, this is the artistic skill set they have at their disposal. This is something that they feel comfortable in. That's what they're going to create their games on. It is coming to Steam. To be honest with you, I think that
Is it actually Steam or Steam Greenlight?
no, it's Steam.
Okay.
Yeah, be on the lookout for that. I believe it comes out on the 23rd of June. So you don't have to wait for very long for that game if it's really up your alley. There are real artists out there that could use the work. You can buy at least SNES graphics to present your game. Okay, yes. However, when it comes to indie developers trying to make a name for themselves, they really are basically on like 2 strands of ramen a night diet. And so they can't afford artists, so they either you find an artist that's willing to work for free at the time and then get, and you have like a contingency of you'll get paid once the game sells, or you find someone who's desperate enough to try to put their work out there for free, which if you're an artist and you've been following what Will Wheaton's been saying, you will not follow that that path of, well, it's good exposure.
Or you get a senior to do it for their art project.
It's true. Go find a student.
Yeah, go to SCAD.
SCAD
College of
or
Art
Art Institute of Atlanta.
Yeah. There's a
or-
couple.
Hell, you could probably pull in a digital media artist from Full Sail if you could find them awake.
Well, minor details.
Mhm.
So yeah, I hear you about the graphics acts with them, and that's the first thing I look at when I see them. Like, yeah, I don't know. Obviously, it'll appeal to some people. We'll see.
All right, the next topic. Here's a fun one that should get some people either really pissed off or worried.
I'm already angry.
All right, here we go. Collectible card game meets match 3 on the mobile device.
I don't even know what match 3 is.
You ever played Candy Crush? Have you ever played any of those games where you match
Yes.
same color?
Yes.
Ta-da! Think Puzzle Quest.
So what you're
But
saying
instead of Puzzle Quest, you now have a collectible card aspect where you're building an army from the cards that you win through battle.
So you're saying it's another time waster on the mobile platform that really just wants you to buy jewels and other useless shit.
Let's see, shall we?
Oh, I think we already know the answer to this one.
Trailer, here we come.
Primal Legends!
Be strong.
With me.
Yes. Dodge this. Charge. Boom.
Not looking at it.
Come on, Zealeus, where's your sense of adventure?
It's right now Kingdom Hearts Unchained. That's my mobile game of choice at the moment. Now, I'm not really into Puzzle Quest. Puzzle type of games on the mobile platform just don't do it for me in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
I've never found a puzzle type of game that holds my attention for more than a week on the mobile platform. So I'm probably not about to start now.
Well, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I think that this game potentially might be interesting. However, that short little teaser trailer basically tells me nothing.
You know what?
It looks like a generic RPG match mechanic, and Puzzle Quest has cornered the market on that.
It looks like a grind fest.
Oh, of course.
To level up your cards, and then you're gonna have to pay money to get better cards so you can do stuff and get to better parts in the jewels. Yeah, it's no.
And I don't know. The thing is, there are so many games like this out there right now, and I don't know if there's enough. What is going to be that difference maker that's going to make me go, oh shit?
Well, it's because it's combining two different genres. That's what they're hoping for. They're
But
hoping
it's
to
been
get,
done, that type of feel has already been done before. So
they're
what
hoping
makes
to
it
get people
different?
from both markets. I'm trying to be nice to the game
Okay.
here. I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm not playing it. I don't care. I'm not gonna get it.
Next Gen HD Gamer, are you the type of person who plays like a Puzzle Quest type of game? I mean, because when I look at this looks like a different variety of Puzzle Quest. Actually, you know what? Let me. I'm gonna just. Hold on,
Are you gonna pull up Pulse Quest to see what it looks like?
No, I want to see.
Charge.
See if I can see one screen. This right here on the side,
Yeah.
where you have all these things.
Uh-huh.
You got Puzzle Quest, the new Puzzle Quest with like Marvel Puzzle Quest.
Doesn't even have the same graphics.
You
but
have
awesome.
you have a roster
With energy.
with energy
Yep.
for each of your heroes. The difference is that you don't have like a combatant side and your side. You're all playing on the same grid. So this part is different, but is there going to be enough difference?
It's different, man. It's a different game. It's not the same. Yeah, I think this is the wrong audience for this game.
All right. Anyways,
Maybe my cat will play it.
okay. Well, since we have
a true
Oh,
gamer,
boy.
not a casual gamer.
okay, I'm gonna hop on my soapbox for just a second, and then I'll jump back off. Okay?
You off yet?
No, I've got to say something before I get off. Okay?
Oh, I heard you saying it.
Oh my lord! All right. There is no such thing as a true gamer, hardcore gamer, casual gamer, whatever.
He's wrong.
We are gamers.
No, there's
okay?
different type of gamers.
There are subcultures. However, at the end of the day, we are all gamers. Tabletop gamers, LARPers, all that stuff. We are all gamers. Unite. Don't segregate. For the love of God.
But there's nothing wrong with classification of gamers because there are legitimately
Correct.
different gamers.
However, if you're doing a different classification to basically weed out or shut other gamers out, then I don't agree. You could say that you are a LARPer, but you have to understand that there are individuals who game that don't LARP.
Well,
Okay?
I think it's fair, though, to say that you're not going to play a certain type of game because I'm this type of gamer.
Correct, but I don't see this as a casual game either. So,
I do, but whatever.
all right. Anyways, off the box, and let's go on to something much more exciting. Ladies and gentlemen,
Wait, that was pretty exciting, man.
Dyslexic Gamers Unite. Untie. Damn it. Okay, anyways, we want to take this quick moment to talk about...
Wait, there's never a quick moment with you, dude.
okay, fine.
You always
We'll
miss.
start with a quick moment, and then we'll grow.
Like, your moments become, like, epic hours.
If you cut me off one more time, I'm going to start doing voices.
I'm done.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, we were talking about a tabletop RPG called Mergers and Acquisitions. Mergers and Acquisitions was created by Nerdburger Games. And of course, the mastermind behind it all is Craig Campbell, who is C. Campbell 329 in the audience. We want to tell you that he previously just finished up his Kickstarter campaign.
Indeed.
And not only did it fund, but it did 333% of the funding.
333 times 2, the sign of the devil.
Oh, do we have to do this again? No. Okay, so
I'm just saying.
basically what that means, okay, so the game ended up raising $6,000.
Even.
Which is phenomenal.
Pretty awesome.
And so,
That's a lot of ramen noodles.
do you have some other indie games too? Do I?
Murders and Acquisitions is an indie game.
Murders and Acquisitions is an indie game. It's a tabletop pencil and paper game. But if we talk video games, just give me 1 second, then we'll hop back.
Oh, we got video games.
Yeah, I'll hit you up in just a second, next gen. So, anyways, Mergers and Acquisitions was successfully funded. The average pledge was about $22.81, which is awesome.
Yes.
Of course, that's below my pledge. But I'm just saying. And I will say that be on the lookout for at least one illustration of me in the book.
I hope
I'm
it's.
excited.
I really hope it's somebody getting strangled or like stabbed in the heart with a trident. That's what I'm just saying.
No.
Craig, if I retroactively raise my pledge level, can I alter what will happen to him?
No. The artists already have all the information in the contract. So
The contracts can be amended.
oh Lord. Okay, so
Just saying.
So here's the deal. There are going to be at least 164 books printed. How awesome is that?
Those will not all fit in my bookcase, man.
No, they will not. But now here's the really cool thing. And okay, so this is oh, for God's sake. Oh, no, do not start this, okay?
Craig, you're my hero.
Oh my God. Okay, so anyways, the real cool thing is that Mergers and Acquisitions was made right here in the great US of A. But there were 63 international backers,
Ooh,
which
that's cool.
I bet you the vast majority of those individuals never, unfortunately, got to do an actual play test of the game, which is sad because it was an amazing experience. We did it, what, like 2 or 3 times?
Mhm.
So, but anyways, let's talk about some of the locations that people came from or pledged from. You've got the UK, you've got Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Italy, Switzerland, Finland, Peru, France, Denmark, Israel, Germany, Guam, South Korea, Taiwan, Japan, Belgium, and China.
Breathe. You get there? You're going to make it?
I'm going to make it.
You're going to make it? Good.
So
Now,
anyway.
how many of these were actually Craig using a VPN to donate money to himself from a different country to make it look cool? That's somebody who's in the Murders and Acquisitions would totally do this. That's a classic trick.
Goose
As
egg,
a
my friend.
CEO.
Goose egg. Goose egg. Anyways, so I'm really excited to see where Mergers and Acquisitions goes from here. I can't wait to see the artwork and all that stuff. So congratulations to Nerdburger Games. Now, of course, if you want to learn more about Mergers and Acquisitions or any of the potential upcoming 62 of the international backers were me. So basically 1 real international backer. Okay, awesome. If you want to learn more about Mergers and Acquisitions or any of the potential RPGs that may be coming up next, just go to nerdburgergames.com.
It is the place to be.
Indeed. Now, Next Gen HD Gamer, you asked, do you have some other indie games too? Capers or Die Laughing. Place your vote to the next game for Nerdburger. I can't decide, Craig. No.
That failed. I
Yeah.
failed at life.
I'm going to be totally honest with you. After playing Mergers and Acquisitions, I'm pretty sure whatever you choose or wherever you go, I'm probably going to play the crap out of it. So, anyways, okay. So, Next Gen. Do we have some other indie games?
Just a few.
So we of course are an independent video game news and review website. So we review almost exclusively independently developed games. So if you go to www.alteredconfusion.com,
There's a sign above my head.
yep, you can find out about all the reviews we've done. I've got like 4 games that I have to review like in the next 2 days. And then I've got over 500 reviews to my name. The vast majority of them being indie titles.
I have about 15.
iOS, Android, Steam, Xbox One. I think that's it, right?
Yeah. Maybe
And then the Ouya.
maybe Xbox 360.
Yeah, I guess some on the 360, but those aren't indies. That's just regular reviews. So anyways, if you want to learn about amazing independent indie games, check us out. Actually, follow us on all of this stuff so you get the latest and greatest when we post stuff.
There's always stuff.
Indeed.
So what's the game you're currently playing? An indie game to be on the lookout for?
Okay, well, that leads right into one of the topics we have here, so let's do it! Hopefully this fits in the thing, because I didn't... Okay, Crusaders of the Lost Idols. Crusaders of the Lost Idols, of course, is a clicker game. It is currently on Steam and also playable through Facebook. I'm not saying that someone might be playing the Facebook version at work, because Facebook's accessible at work, but I'm just saying. So, without further ado, let me give you a quick little trailer, and then I'll tell you some exciting news about Crusaders of the Lost Idol.
There's actually news about the game?
Yes, sir.
Nice. Codename Entertainment. With Codename Entertainment. Presents an epic venture that starts with next week. Kill zombies.
Those are all, all right, so basically it's a clicker-based game. The cool thing about this is that as you progress through the game, you have different scenarios that require you to be in different formations. Sometimes those formations get even further manipulated depending on certain requirements for that level. Now, I have played the game a little too much, I'll admit. And of course,
that's what you're supposed to do in video games.
And let me just say that the latest and greatest in news about this game is that, ladies and gentlemen, Codename Entertainment has just announced that this game is going mobile.
No.
It will be available on Android and iOS.
No.
Right now, it's in a beta phase, and unfortunately, it's in an international beta phase, so it's not in the US. It's actually starting in Australia, New Zealand, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and Finland. And it's already out in the Philippines.
I really don't want this game on my tablet.
Because then you're never going to look away.
Exactly. It'll stick me down in deep. Clicker games have a bad habit. They're one of those games, if I start playing, I'll go into this deep black hole of clicker games.
Oh, believe me. I'm like, it's what, thankfully, a lot of the clicker games allow you to like stop the game and then it'll just keep like basically grinding and getting you coins. However, when you play enough of the game where you basically coast through a lot of the early levels, you're just like, okay, that level's still easy. Let me get a little further so that when I stop, I'll rack up even more gold because I'm further along in the game. And then that just keeps going and going and going because, of course, you're racking in gold at a pretty good rate. So you keep leveling up all your characters. So instead of like just doing 10 levels, you end up doing 50. And you're like, son of a bitch, I just lost 2 hours.
Yeah, you can't just stop Clicker Heroes or any of the clicker games right away. You have to keep on going to get to that optimal level to stop at to get into that all while you're AFK. Yeah,
but anyways, I really do like the fact that there's a formation piece to it. A lot of the clicker games that I've played, you basically just unlock the character and you level it up, and it just kind of adds to your overall DPS. This one, it's all about the positioning of the characters.
So it actually requires a little bit of strategy when you play the game.
There's certain characters that, if they're at the front of the formation, get a 400% boost to the DPS. There's
I'm reading the stat on the screen. It's Inspired individual players to log almost 4 million of hours playing every month. Good gosh.
So
We could have cured cancer if it weren't for this game.
they should probably rope in some kind of like what was that game? Folding and
Folding at home, yeah.
And was it SETI?
SETI, yeah.
Cookie Clinker.
That was that's a classic, yes.
Yeah.
That was like the simplest version possible. There's that one. There's a cat one.
There's I'm gonna be honest with you. This game is as addictive as the game that literally you do nothing. Do you remember this game?
Progress Quest.
Progress Quest.
Yes. You're sitting down to your taskbar and it would level up while you're gone.
Oh, it's like, oh, look, you killed orcs, you killed orcs.
Yep.
Okay, inventory full. We're going to sell all that stuff. Going to upgrade your stuff. And you're like, but it's all random stuff. So all of a sudden you're like a plus 28 axe. And the next thing you know, you have a minus 7 boomerang. But apparently it's better.
But it's a plus 28 axe of like farts or something. There's always something like totally random.
Exactly. You're like a half man, half sea lion type thing. It was, But anyways, this is a pretty solid game. And just in case anyone, oops, sorry, I keep grabbing that mouse there because we're doing two different screens.
Twice the awesomeness.
I will tell you how much time I've logged into it, and this is unfortunately. I don't want to say embarrassing, but it's telling how addictive this game is. How about that?
How many hours? Oh, well, actually, I have like a number of hours you played.
Mm-hmm.
That's scary. I don't know if I actually want to see that when I'm playing my game.
When you have a game that logs statistics, it's a little bit scary.
Yes, it is.
So let's see here. I have. I have played 16 days, 10 hours, 22 minutes, and 37 seconds.
Well, that's not actually sitting in front of the screen. That includes AFK, though, I hope.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure.
Sure. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
I'm going with that includes AFK.
Hello, X-Fusion Blast X49.
I'm just going to call you 49, I hope.
Welcome to the Ultimate Fusion Thursday Night Hangout.
Indeed, it is Thursday night. We're hanging out, and I am drinking beer, because that's what I do.
And I'm doing the do.
It sounds so naughty when you put it like that.
Yep. Anyways, okay, so real quick, just a reminder.
Again, real quick from Charlie.
That at any time, if you have a topic, drop it in the chat, and we will we'll pick that up. But for now, let's go on to. We have one more indie game to talk about. This one's actually been out for a while, but
Templar BattleForce. I remember you talking about that.
Okay,
one.
Templar BattleForce is basically 49. Do you watch games done quick? You mean quick? What do you call it?
Speed runs.
Speed runs. Right. Speed runs.
I have occasionally, if it's a good commentator. That's the key. Somebody who can talk while they're doing the speed running and make it entertaining. I'm like, okay, this is actually fun.
Right. If there's added commentary to it, if it's literally just like someone has tape over their mouth and you get to hear the music of the game,
yep,
and basically watch the character, it kind of gets boring.
Because the reality is, there's very few games I've been into enough where I actually care that much about the achievement. Like, say, like a Super Mario Brothers achievement. Yes, I love Super Mario Brothers back in the day, but it's not like I truly grasp the awesomeness of the speedrunning just on its own without any extra further commentary. We get that commentary, it just makes it that much better.
See, but here's my issue with a lot of the speed runs. Now, there are ways to basically emulate the game, and when you put it in an emulator, you're able to basically manipulate it however you want to. So, is the speed run legit? It's now the thing.
If it's not an original console, I don't think it is. Like, say, Super Mario Brothers. I think if it's not on the original console, without, like, your NES controller, I think you should have some authenticity to how that speedrun is done. Because also you start emulating it. And, one of the issues when you started doing emulating, especially, say, take DOSBox, for instance, or DOS games, is the game would run like 15 billion times faster than it was originally intended to, right? And I think, all of a sudden you start emulating games and you definitely are going to change things in how the game is actually played. So I think to be a legit speed run, it absolutely should be on the original, say, console with the original actual.
No, the stream
equipment.
channel, Games Done Quick. I have not watched that.
I don't know then. So I'm totally talking about something you didn't ask, but that's okay.
I
don't know what the channel is.
49 asked, what do we think about the Destiny new DLC coming up? To be honest with you, Destiny is basically the blueprint for how a lot of companies want to do it. They basically spit you out a game that's passable, and they just DLC the shit out of you.
And this is why I did not buy it.
I've heard that it's getting really good. Like, all the DLC is actually making the game worth playing. However, I don't know a lot about this latest thing, simply because I think they're considering this new DLC kind of like Destiny 2? Is that right? Rise of Iron is the name of the DLC. I do know that the interesting thing about Bungie is that when a new DLC comes out, they hold basically there's a banhammer event that basically knocks a lot of players down, and they don't get back up because they're cheating.
Well, and the thing is, like, when it comes to, so I don't own a next-gen console that I didn't buy for 360, but if it was on the PC, I'd probably actually buy Destiny. But at the same time, this whole sequelization of the franchise, it also kind of puts me off a little. Where you know that there's going to be sequel after buy after sequel after buy after sequel after you buy. I'm kind of like, that in the very first place of knowing that there's going to be 8 billion sequels definitely turned me off from even really considering it in the first place. Now, granted, like you said, the reality is that's where AAA titles are going. I mean, we just know that, guess
You're
what?
going to get the base, and then you're going to get DLC'd for everything.
But then, okay, yes, but take a look, for instance, like Witcher 3, right?
Okay, yeah.
I like how they did it because,
It's a single-player game.
yes, correct, it's a single-player game.
Right.
And if you look at their DLCs, have all been universally praised for adding so much content. Not only that, but there's an end in sight. Like Destiny, who the hell knows when that DLC train's going to end? Whereas with Witcher 3, I think, what is it called, Blood and Tears or something? It's done. Like Witcher 3 DLC, it's not this endless chain of $30 DLCs you're buying. No, you now can buy the complete game because they came out with their last DLC.
Right.
So,
okay.
yeah.
Right. So we got quite a few questions here. So let's run through them here. Have we heard about Borderlands 2? What do you mean? Like they're doing something? Are they remastering? For the love of God, please don't say they're remastering. I love Borderlands 1. I love Borderlands 2.
It does not remastering.
I really
it does not.
I still have not got into Tales from the Borderlands, which I really, really need to get.
See, the thing is with Borderlands, it doesn't need. It would not be remastered. There's no reason it needs to be.
I have not heard anything about a Borderlands 3, though that would be interesting.
Blood and Wine, I was right. No, I said Tears. Anyway, sorry.
Okay, so, I mean, I would love to play more Borderlands because there's a lot of, like, random variety to it, and it's fun. There's that kind of, like, I don't know, you kind of get that arcadey feel where you get a little bit of separation from, it's probably one of the reasons why I enjoy it a lot more over, like, a Call of Duty, like, real-world warfare type of game.
And Borderlands 1 is definitely one of my favorite... Borderlands 1 is definitely one of my favorite video games of all time. Right. And I think part of it, too, is, you know, Borderlands 2 is a great game, but that kind of... The way that they pulled off the genre of that action kind of RPG, FPS... They did such a phenomenal job with it, just that entry into that type of series. I loved it. And it's one of the very few games where after beating it, I played it over. You know, I went back to level 1 again and just started going over and over and over. And I love Borderlands is definitely one of my favorites. I love it.
So next gen, your question, Gone Home, do I like it? I loved it. I'm all about, how to put this? Creativity, uniqueness. Gone Home is such an emotional thing, and as soon as I started Gone Home, I literally could not stop until the end. It's kind of Gone Home is a phenomenal game, and you know, there's also games out there like Dear Esther, which Dear Esther and Gone Home are literally just like, I hate the term walking sim, but it basically you're going from room to room, trying to find out what's happened. And as you go into the room, you get further and further into the story, and it just grips you. I'm all about that type of stuff. Having something innovative, something different, and showing that you can successfully do it is awesome. What did you think about the story? I was sad when I found out about the whole story. But I'm not going to tell you what the story is because you need to play Gone
Don't
Home.
go spoilers.
You literally need, if you have not played Gone Home, you need to have that experience. See, Gone Home and a lot of the other games that are basically right on that same thing. I don't know if I would call them games. I would call them more of an experience. Like that game company's all of their games, Flow, Flower, and oh my God, what the hell is the name of the game?
Oh, no, I would get bored. I need to kill things.
Oh my God, what the hell is the name of that game?
Karma Flow?
No. That game company has. Oh my God. Hold on. That game company. I'm gonna. Journey. It's another. It's an experience. I like that. You know, it's a different pace. It's not something that I expect, but if you do it right, you can draw me in. Now, there are games that do have some violence for you, but also have amazing art, amazing music. And basically what I'm talking about is any game made by Supergiant Games.
You love Supergiant Games.
Yeah, Supergiant Games. There's Red from Transistor, and of course, Bastion is another great game. What games are you guys most excited for coming from E3? I don't know if I'm excited about any of the games because I think that it's kind of a like a flash and glitz type of deal. To be honest with you, the game I'm most interested in finding more about because it's mysterious as hell is the new Kojima game.
Oh yes, I am actually. That is the game I'm most excited about. I agree, because it's like, what is it? Do we know?
Death Stranding.
Will it live up to the expectations?
But oh my God, the freaking trailer! You're like, what is this? I don't even know. Like, what time period is it? What type of game is it? Is it survival horror? Is it an action? What am I doing?
But wasn't that part of the point, though? Because obviously they wanted to drum up interest for the game and get people talking about it.
Right.
And wondering, what is this? And it's done exactly that.
Well, the other thing is, a lot of people, you know, as soon as you put out a trailer that's kind of cryptic, you have the conspiracy nuts that just go absolutely ape shit crazy. And Kojima knows how to do it best. Okay? So there's people dissecting the layout of the beach and how it represents some famous painting, the music, and how that's an interpretation. The disappearing baby, the Kojima icon logo that's at the end. What does that mean? Does it mean anything about the game? Like, oh. Okay, so I'm playing the Game of Thrones game, and it surprised me at how much I like it, even though the graphics are bad, but I don't mind too much. Okay, so by saying that you're playing the Game of Thrones game, that is very vague. The reason why is because there's a Telltale game. There's a
What's not the Telltale game?
There's a couple different games as well. Oh my God, do I have my Steam open? Yeah, I got my Steam open. I've actually got one. Hold on a second.
Charlie is looking up his vast database.
No, I know I have at least one Game of Thrones game, and I tried, and
A Game of Thrones Genesis.
I tried. Oh God, did I try? But the level of complexity that went into that game fried my brain, and I was just like, what? It's like, you have 7 different ways to capture this city. You can marry someone. You can assassinate someone. You could do political sabotage. You could poison someone. You could defeat the city. You could do this. I'm just like, oh my God.
Too much?
I don't even, who is this? Do I use this guy? Do I use that guy? Ah!
So it's like the books where it's too much sometimes.
Oh God, yes. Yes, I too would love to sit on my throne.
I do that all the time with Kingdom Hearts.
Boom! Drops the mic, walks away. But yeah. Sorry. So to get right back on topic real quick,
Be the topic.
Templar BattleForce
Oh, yes.
is a turn-based RPG that literally looks like Warhammer 40K characters in this slightly different world.
But you played it, haven't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's on mobile devices. On the iOS, it's on Android. Now, one of the biggest issues that a lot of people have had is, man, this is a pretty deep game, and I don't remember what the price point is. Actually, I could probably look it up real quick.
$9.99 or $15.99 or $19.99.
That's usually.
It's usually a pretty good bet.
Yeah. But let's see here.
Survey says
Survey says
$9.99.
$9.99
There we go.
on. Oh hey, that's right. It started off on
and
Steam,
Android,
and then Android, and then it's also on iOS.
of course.
But okay, so
You gotta
$9.99.
maximize it.
So one of the things is that a lot of people are like, "Ooh, man, this looks like a good game, but I don't know." Well, thankfully, the developers have decided to create a demo for the game. It will give you the first 4 missions, which is going to take a while. So you can really dip your toes into that water. Uni Teddy, we actually go to 9:15, but if you've got a basketball...
You know it actually starts, right?
Yes, I know it starts.
It actually usually starts at like 9:07 because you have to sing the national anthem. I'm just saying.
LeBron has to make sure he has the right baby powder. Kevin Love has to be convinced to come out of the bathroom as he's crying in one of the stalls. I mean, I'm sorry.
Wow, somebody's a hater.
No, I didn't. So, Awesome Knots. I have heard of this game. It is a 2D multiplayer online battle arena game.
It's a blur.
Yeah, blah. Nudge the puppy. It's okay. So, how do I describe this?
You just described it. It's
No, I know,
2D battle
but
arena.
it's kind of like
Throw up a video of it.
okay, sure.
We're going to the Googleplex. There's got to be a video over here.
Oh, absolutely. There's the Steam video.
Yeah. When in doubt, Steam it.
Hold on 1 second. Let's actually get the volume there. There we go. And then
Capture video.
capture. Stupid thing, because I'm gonna have to do 2 steps here.
You gotta do the checkbox.
I know. All right, so give us 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. We'll show you the Awesome Knots.
This game's been out for a while. 2012.
Oh yeah, it's been out for quite a while. Okay, so thanks to XSplit and their stupid exclusive window capture.
But it's exclusive, man. It's like
What do we
being
do?
an exclusive title.
So like I said, 2D online battle.
Year 3587. Conflict spans the stars. Huge armies are locked into an enduring stalemate. Only one force can help them now. The Awesome Knots.
I like the album. So it's like a mobile platform.
Victory!
Yeah, it reminds me of a mobile platform.
Basically. Mutiny. No, we do not. Because
He has cooties.
I have a very rare cootie condition, so
Unfortunately, circle, dot, does
Don't
not
work.
immunize yourself against him, so
and
gotta watch out.
and if you catch the cooties, circle, square cannot redirect the cooties either.
But circle, knife, now that's the game changer.
What the hell is circle, knife? The hell is that?
You don't know.
No.
That's your problem, yo. You
Oh
don't
my
know
God.
circle, knife, is. That's your problem right there.
I'm slightly scared now.
You should be.
Now, I know earlier on there was a question about some of the latest indie games that are basically on the slate for Ultimate Confusion. So I'm just going to name a couple off the top of my head here. Quiver of Crows is actually a game that we saw at MomoCon, which if you want to find out about a lot of the amazing indie developers that were there, we tried to do interviews. I think we ended up with 6 or 7 interviews of those indie developers. A Quiver of Crows was one of the games that we got to interview the developers behind. You are a crow, and it's a dual stick shooter, and you're trying to defeat demons by shooting feathers at them, as well as trying to release your crow brethren. And of course, at the end of the game, you get to learn why you're releasing all the crows. Another game that was also there, and of course, I've just lost where the heck it was. Dragonfin Soup. Now, Dragonfin Soup's actually out, and they're about to release a new DLC. Dragonfin Soup is basically it's an RPG that has Red Riding Hood as the main character.
Okay. Here's the real question.
Yeah.
Are you going to give a shout out to probably our favorite indie title of all time? It has to be done.
Sproggy Wood.
Yes. So this is going to be my shout out to Sproggy Wood. It's a roguelike turn-based RPG. Me, I'm usually not a fan of roguelikes. I don't like the whole thing starting over again and again. I'm like, that's lame. Mm-hmm. Throw out all your misconceptions out the window of what a turn-based RPG roguelike sounds like and go freaking play Sproggy Wood. It is an amazing game. It's just a great game. I don't know how else to describe it. So you start off with, your basic farmer, and so it is roguelike, but you do unlock more characters, you get armor, you get weapons that you can start off with. Now, you're always starting at level 1 in those dungeons, but you can carry through, previous weapons and characters that you have unlocked. And then the thing I like is there's, 6 different classes? Was it 6 or 7?
I think it's 6.
6 different classes, and I like that each class, it's like playing the game completely over again, because each class has such a unique gameplay mechanic to it with its abilities, because you don't have just a basic attack. No, you always have special attacks that you're using. And they all have their own 4 different unique special attacks. So it really creates a very unique gameplay style for each and every single character. And then depending on what character you play, you definitely want to change up what weapons you use. So it definitely creates a very unique dynamic. And I love Sproggy Wood. So I would definitely check out Sproggy Wood.
Teddy, you absolutely need to check out that game. It is a lot of fun. Now, one of the other games that I got to play, I got to interview the developers behind, is a game called Dimension Drive. And Dimension Drive is a game that's kind of, it's got a, I don't know.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, hold on a second. Dimension Drive. So this is the game that unfortunately has a very sad beginning to it. This game was the Kickstarter game that was funded, and then 30 minutes before the end, a $7,000 pledge was seen as fraudulent. So there was true jubilation all the way to complete heartbreak. Now they picked up the pieces, they redid. They basically restarted their Kickstarter with Kickstarter's blessing, by the way, and they were able to fund it. It is a shoot 'em up game, but with a twist. There is two screens at all times, okay? But your ship is going to be on one of these screens, and there's going to be basically an indicator dot on the other, and you have to flip between the two. Later levels have a much more difficult, challenging way of having to do things. You got to shoot the button to open up the gates, collect the power-ups. And the other thing is, when you're on one screen, you could basically drain all of your power, and you have to switch over to the other one to regain the power. So it's a great game. I don't know when it's actually going to be out. I don't know if it's officially out on Steam. But it's a phenomenal game, a great story, and
if you like shoot 'em up games at all, check out Dimension Drive. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And it screws with your mind, because having the whole 2-screen thing is, for me at least, I'm like, oh my gosh, it definitely took a couple of gameplays to get the hang of it.
And there's also a co-op mode where you have 2 ships, okay, and they can be on either side or you can be on the same screen. However, you share the energy.
Oh my, that sounds really confusing.
Yeah. So it's a very challenging game, but it is awesome. And if you like R-Type, that type of feel, I mean, that's what it is, except it splits it into 2 screens, and it takes a while. There is absolutely there's absolutely a learning curve. You need Teddy. You know, of course, follow us on all of this, and as soon as it comes out into when it actually gets released, we'll spread it up all that on all the social media stuff. Okay. Okay. Next gen. Battlefield 1 versus Call of Duty Infinite. Neither.
Just go play Overwatch. That's where FPS is at right now. It's Blizzard has taken the freaking scene by storm. They're like, screw you guys. We're going to take all these little different elements, different shoot 'em ups, and boom. Or not shoot 'em ups, FPSs. And we're going to show you how it's done.
To be honest with you, I am just so tired of Call of Duty. Now, of course, Call of Duty is now getting futuristic, which is getting a little bit too close to Halo. Or, if you want to go the other route, it's not as gritty as Gears of War, because they're not all like steroid individuals, but you're...
Now, here's the thing, and in all seriousness, here's the other reason. I'm not getting back into FPSs. I've done my time. But if I were, I'd get back in Overwatch. And one of the main reasons is from looking at kind of Blizzard's plan for Overwatch, is you're not going to, if you purchase the game, but you're not going to be buying anything for Overwatch, at least for quite some time.
Right.
It's very possible a year or two down the road there'll be something, but it's not like they're already preparing for Overwatch 2.
Right.
Whereas you already know, Call of Duty Infinite, they're already planning the next Call of Duty after Call of Duty Infinite. Like, you already know they have it. So that's one of the reasons I would really actually get invested in Overwatch and over any of the other FPSs. Is you know that you're going to probably have the Overwatch franchise. I mean, look how long it took for them to come out with the next Diablos or the next StarCrafts.
Because they want to actually make sure that their game is good and finished and polished, in the most part, except for Diablo 3.
Yeah, so I would definitely go with, of the current FPSs, Overwatch is where I do it right now. That's just me. And plus, it's not Call of Duty.
Well, I'm just sick and tired of having, basically, I feel like Call of Duty is basically the Madden version of first-person shooters. I don't, you know, I don't, no.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a fan. I'm really not a fan, because Call of Duty is actually the quintessential example of where games are going to be going. You have that core mechanic with a couple different game features, some selection of guns, and maybe 4 to 6, maybe 8 maps if they're feeling extra wee. And then they're going to DLC the shit out of you until either you just become numb to it and you literally just hand over your credit card and just say, just go, just keep buying stuff. Or I love the new way of people going, well, I don't want to pay for DLC all the time. It's called a season pass.
Now, here's the real question. Is Valve ever going to come out with another Team Fortress?
Are they going to come out with another Half-Life?
No. Sorry. I think Valve is... The only reason I would see Valve doing another game is to basically try to get the whole VR thing going. Like, I could see them doing... Like, I could see them going full on, we are going to do a VR-only title. I don't see Valve doing another Half-Life. If they did a Half-Life, it would be like a VR-exclusive game. I just don't see Valve. It seems like they moved beyond the point of being a game developer, and they moved them basically to the distribution module, which works great for them. I just don't know if they're... I see them leveraging a current IP to really push VR is what I see.
Okay, so we've had this discussion a lot of times, and for those out there who have not been a part of this discussion, to really make VR stick in the game, into the game marketplace, is that a publisher or a developer literally has to jump in with both feet and say, This is a VR game. It's not a VR accessible game. This is it. Now, Valve is actually a really, really good candidate because they have the HTC Vive, and it would make sense that if they wanted to, I mean, if they really want to push that agenda, if they were to put something as enticing as Half-Life 3, then HTC Vive would be like, it would blow up. Everyone, like a shit ton of people would get it, and then of course a bunch of developers like, oh my god, this actually works.
The internet would blow up.
Everyone keeps asking me about Outlast 2.
I have no idea about Outlast 2.
Okay, I've played the first one.
Apparently, Charlie needs to now check out what Outlast is, because I don't know.
I don't know why.
A charred baby pit? I didn't like it much.
Sequel to the acclaimed survival horror game Outlast, set in the same universe as the first game, but with different characters. Okay. Potentially, I have an issue with this because I've watched a little bit of backstory here. I once upon a time was an animeaholic. I had a really bad problem when it came to anime, and there are certain animes out there that literally have the exact same universe, and they basically just hit the reset button, use the exact same characters, but then go in a completely different way where some characters that were bad are now good. So I would be very interested to see what new characters they're using. So
I never got into survival horror games myself, so I'm kind of like.
I like horror games, but it has to be something special. Okay, a lot of the horror games are just like. Condemned scared the shit out of me. Okay, I turned on every single fucking light in my house. Deep Space 1 and 2. 3 is dead to me because they're like, oh, you know what would be awesome? Let's like remove the survival horror piece to it and just fuck over all the fanboys. Yes.
And of course,
Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil is just.
It's now an action game.
Yeah, it really is. They basically, to appease a bigger market, they basically suck the soul out of the game, and they take the attributes of what made that game amazing, and then just go, well, we don't really need to scare people, but we will keep the people with the potato sacks on their heads and chainsaws, but we'll make the chainsaws sound like laughing bunnies.
But which version sold more copies?
The scarier. Yeah. Okay. Well, actually,
I don't know.
No, to be honest with you, it's like Dead Space 3.
Well, okay, that's yeah.
Huh? What? Play the beta? Of what? Oh, Resident Evil 7.
I don't know.
Okay, so Dead Space 3 probably did very well because everyone is anticipating that this was gonna be it.
It was gonna be awesome, man.
And then, of course, everyone was completely let down.
And then reality set in.
Yeah, and you got kicked in the nuts, and that was about the most violent thing about that game.
And it was not the greatest thing ever seen. I know that feeling. That's how I felt about Diablo 3. At least when it first came out.
I don't even want to talk about Diablo 3.
I mean, it got good eventually, but definitely not. Basically, like most Diablo games, like Diablo 2, same thing. At first it was kind of like, okay, and then it got good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of, we'll see what happens.
So anyways, are we tech geeks? This guy's probably more in the tech stuff than I am. I
would love to get more into gadgets. I just don't have enough money to go buy gadgets. Like, I could spend all day freaking playing with gadgets. I actually spent last night researching home automation systems for 3 hours.
Okay, real quick, Muni Teddy. The new Kojima game is not PT. It has nothing to do with PT. It's absolutely separate. However, they are utilizing the same main character. That's the same main character, and of course, Kojima is involved with it.
Mm-hmm.
Del Toro has nothing to do with this game. This is an additional original IP. PT is still connected to Konami because that was created while Kojima was part of Konami. So there can't be anything that's too close to PT or Kojima could be sued.
You can't, break the copyright, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. No reason to go there quite right yet.
And the baby. What the fuck?
What?
No.
Oh, I was like,
ah! Oh man, what that.
It's got people thinking, man, asking questions.
Yeah.
Wondering what's going on, man.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're basically getting to the close of this, unfortunately, but we do want to say a couple quick things before we really end this. And that is, of course, we are Ultra Confusion. We're an independent video game news and review website. You can find all of our information at the website, www.ultraconfusion.com. You can also like us on Facebook, Ultra Confusion. Follow us on Twitter.
At Ultra Confusio without the N because...
The end would break the internet. And at the time that we created the name, there was a limit of characters, and Confusio was the limit. And then, of course, our YouTube channel is Ultra Confusion LLC. Why did I freak out when you said baby? Because I'm thinking the Kojima little trailer, Death Stranding, the baby just disappearing. Holy ballsack. Anyways, so
how do you really feel?
If I was a conspiracy theorist, I would be all over that shit like crazy. And I would come up with random stuff. And of course, since y'all are watching this on Twitch, or maybe you're watching the recording on YouTube, our Twitch channel is twitch.tv/ultraconfusion.
There we go.
We do want to say one thing real quick, and that is that Ultra Confusion is all about the audience. If there's an independent game that we're missing, or maybe a topic, or a question that y'all want us to discuss, please hit us up on any of these social platforms. It goes straight to me. I'm the editor of Ultra Confusion, and I will be more than... See you, Mutiny Teddy. We're going to be watching in a second anyway.
Or as you guys have been doing, throw your questions, comments, concerns, criticisms, games into chat.
Right, but if you're watching the recording, or perhaps you think of something when this is not live, go over to one of these social media things, and of course we will answer it. Now, I do want to point out one thing, and that is that Ultra Confusion does have a Patreon page. Ultra Confusion is run out of my wallet for 8 years now, and what we're looking for is
sugar mamas.
Sugar mamas. We're looking at getting help for basically equipment upkeep, helping us cover the cost at conventions. Even though we get fan tables usually free at conventions, we have to pay for the power.
Gas, hotel rooms,
food, all that stuff. So if y'all out there can help in any way, please go over to the patreon.com/ultraconfusion page, I believe is what it's called. That would be great. Now, of course, there are some goals that are on the Patreon page, and I know that there are certain
Bring Hawkinson back.
There are certain people who really want to see the webcomic return.
Yes, my life would be complete once again. There
was a webcomic once upon a time on Ultra Confusion. There are over 400 episodes of it. It has gone dormant for 3 years now. But if enough money were to be pledged to the Patreon campaign, then the webcomic would come back in some shape.
Come on, one of you can bring back Hawk and C from the dead. You can resurrect it.
Okay, so if someone really likes YouTube videos, and unfortunately we're out of time, so I can't show them. But ULab, I will check out all of these YouTube links, and I'll get back to you on that, sir, and find out what it's all about. Anyways, thank you for tuning in to the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. We do this every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
7 o'clock Central Time. Get it right.
And of course, I will sporadically try to stream on Twitch from time to time. I can't promise that there is a set schedule because life is freaking crazy.
Crazy, man.
I will check out Hot Cold Man. Yeah, I think that's it. So once again, thank you for tuning into the Thursday Night Hangout. For myself, Charlie, and Zealeus, it's been a pleasure to give you all the craziness coming out of our heads, our mouths, and of course our hearts. And we will see you next week for another exciting Thursday Night Hangout.
Remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Amen to that, brother.
Jackass.
Yeah.